risky about this number 13. The hottest player in college football. Tua Tagavailoa, also number 1 with the fans here on the home field. Glad handing the fans and his favorite receiver. The rain showers have passed in Tuscaloosa. We're just getting warmed up. And the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us to Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Battle of ranked teams. The number 22 Aggies of Texas A&M come into town against the top-ranked team in the land, the Crimson Tide of Alabama, who have won 20 straight here at home. And we welcome you, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Gary Danielson, and partner, I can't believe it, when the day is done, 25% of the season's going to be gone too. And if this was a horse race at the quarter pole, Alabama got out of the gates faster than anybody else, and nobody's caught them yet.
Now, theoretically, you turn on a tape and you look for a team's weaknesses. Well, so far there's been nothing to spot. All of the accolades, all of the columns that have been written about the team, none of it has gotten to be rat poison for this team. They're playing so good, but everybody knows anybody can lose a game, but I think it's going to have to start physicality up front. Otherwise, Tua will go crazy.
And Gary, we talk about special players, and quite frankly, I think anybody that can start in college football special, but he's a different kind of special.
Yeah, and you look at him, how it's changed this team. I mean, Nick Saban had a formula, pretty good formula, won a lot of championships, but this guy was so good, he changed his team. But it's not just the highlights, it's the little things he does. I mean, third down completions, distributing the ball, but sometimes we get caught in the throwing game. Don't sleep on his running backs. This is still a powerful football team. Damien Harris comes back for his senior year. Najee Harris breaking out, a true freshman a year ago, and Josh Jacobs is now healthy. When you play this team, again, I go back, you better be ready to physical in the trenches or you got no chance.
Well, Texas A&M comes in 2-1. They're ranked in the top 25. They're probably getting more accolades for the game they lost because they played so well against Clemson. What's their formula today?
I think what they bring here is important. They bring, as you said, toe-to-toe with Clemson. They look at Clemson, they can play with Alabama, why can't we? But they also bring Jimbo Fisher, a proven guy. When he talks to the team, they listen. He's got the track record. I think A&M comes in here and say, let's do what Jimbo does. And you know what else he's got? He's got a quarterback. No one can beat Alabama without a quarterback that can throw the ball and be mobile. He showed it against Clemson. He showed it actually last year against Alabama. That's the key to the game. If they can keep him upright, they got a chance.
And as you said, he got a taste of Alabama last year, but that was in College Station. This is a whole different animal when you're at Bryant-Denny Stadium. And here comes the top-ranked team in the country. And Texas A&M, number 22 in the nation, off to a 2-1 start. Jamie Erdahl, third member of our team, is with Coach Saban.
Coach, Kevin Mond has been a steadying force for this A&M offense. What's the plan of attack to knock him off his mark?
Well, I think we have to play good as a team. I think we have to do a good job of containing him in the pocket. Got to play good coverage down the field, and when he scrambles, everybody's got to stay with their man. We got to keep chasing him.
A&M shows a lot of different defensive looks. How do you prepare your team for that?
Well, we worked on most of them all week long. It's all about execution, recognizing, identifying, and communicating.
Coach, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Jamie's made her way across the field to Jimbo Fisher.
Coach, I just asked Nick Saban this. In terms of your defense, what do you show these guys to make sure you affect the way their offense has rolled?
Well, I think you have to be diverse. You have to be physical, first of all. You can't just let them run the football. You got to have contested throws. You got to play with tight coverage. And you got to be diverse with your blitzes, your looks, and your coverages and make them try to hold the football and get confused.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Another one of Nick Saban's disciples. We had some showers earlier, but just in time for kickoff. Sunshine from Tuscaloosa. Alabama won the toss. They'll defer, and Texas A&M will receive the kick of Joseph Bulovas. 82. It's cool. We haven't had an under 90 in any of the games so far this year.
Before the rain shower, the thermometers on the field were much higher, but it must have cooled it off.
I got to think it's going to warm back up. It's about to with the kickoff. Fair catch called for by Kwame Atwee, and so they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line for the Aggies as we take a look at the Chick-fil-A lineups for Texas A&M. Starts with this guy. Gary talked about him. Kevin Mond. 9 total touchdowns, 3 of them on the ground, and the rest of the offense that trots out with him looks like this. Gillespie is the 12th man, normally just used on special teams, the famous 12th man, but he's going to play a lot at fullback as well. He had a block punt for a safety in this game a year ago. Aggies first snap from their own 25-yard line. Treyvion Williams is the tailback. He'll get the carry, and he'll get blasted right at the line of scrimmage by the Alabama defense. Isaiah Buggs led the charge on that front 3, and here's how the Tide looks defensively. Little different look because so many guys are playing tomorrow that were on this team a year ago. But Quinton Williams, a redshirt sophomore, everybody's talked about him. He's the anchor at that nose spot, and he's played extremely well so far early in the season for Alabama. Mond in a pistol set with Williams behind him. 2nd and 10. Trying to throw, has to throw as he's going down, and it's intercepted by Mack Wilson. Quinton Williams, I think, was the guy that hit Mond, and Alabama's got it just like that.
I don't think there's any doubt that Jimbo Fisher wanted to get out of this first series with a punt at the very least. 2nd down pass. Quinton Williams wraps him up, and then he tries to throw it. And did he get it or not? Mack Wilson's pretty sure he did. Does it hit the ground?
I don't think so. Looked like he wrapped it with a left hand and then rolled.
Nothing there that you could overturn that call.
And as Gary said, hadn't been intercepted this year in the last 120 attempts. And it gives Alabama great field position, obviously, to start work at the Aggie 30-yard line. Tua Tagavailoa at the controls with Damien Harris behind him. They might go for one right here, and he will, much like the championship game. Touchdown. The same guy. I don't know if it was the same pattern, Gary, but it sure looks similar. Touchdown, Alabama.
It had to be different because this time the A&M safety was in position. But watch Smith set him up and then go around him. Watch this move. Sets him up, and then again a perfect throw and a better catch. How about that? Pretty darn impressive.
Extra point is up and good. 50 seconds into the game. First it was a Mack Wilson interception, and then, as we said, number 13 is not bad luck here in Tuscaloosa. Tagavailoa, Devontae Smith, 30 yards, 8-second scoring drive, 7-zip tie. We're on a pace for, let's see. We're 50 seconds in at 7-0.
Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Mind.
Okay, don't do it. Just a week ago was Ole Miss that scored first, remember?
Right, yeah.
And they were counting out the pace. It didn't quite work out that way.
This kick is returnable. Atwee from the 3-yard line. Not going to make it to the 20. Swarmed under by the Alabama special teams. From the 13, Alabama had a guy jump, but get back. Mond throws short, complete. And it's Courtney Davis who gets it across the original line of scrimmage. Bring up the 2nd down and 9. Anthony Jennings was a guy that jumps in the neutral zone and jumped back and then got the pressure on Mond.
Can this offensive line for A&M allow Kellen Mond to step into his throws? That's a tall task with these guys up front.
As we check the rest of the Crimson Tide offense and the 3 sophomore wide receivers, Judy, Ruggs, and Devontae Smith, who's already got 2 catches, including a touchdown today. Those guys are something as a group tackle for the Aggies defense that looks like this. And The Aggies coaches said that the front four, led by Kingsley Keke, have to be strong today against the run, which they were on that particular carry to give the linebacker a chance to make the tackle. And it brings up a 3rd down. Back to Treyvion Williams. He's finding the sledding pretty tough against that front of Alabama. He came in as the SEC's leading rusher with just under 400 yards on the ground. He maybe got 2 there.
Well, they got to the 2nd level with the linemen on the linebackers. They get to the linebackers, but they can't handle the guys up front. Oh, that Quinnen Williams, number 92. The way he uses his hands to just stuff the blocker in front of him on tape is so impressive.
Coming off a career-high 6 tackles in the win over Ole Miss last week, and he's on pace here early. 2nd and 9. Mond throws complete, another 1st down. And that one's to Courtney Davis, and they'll move it out to the 25.
How cool is Kellen Mond? You could see it in that game we watched against Clemson. Everything's happening around him. The crowd's going crazy. They get down to the 1-yard line, and ball goes out of the end zone. He comes right back the next drive. He's earned this leadership position. Jimbo said that all summer. You know, the interesting thing I thought about what he said, he asked so many good questions in the quarterback room that I was so impressed with him.
His leadership just took over, too, over the summer. From just outside the 30, 1st and 5. Mond off a play-action bootleg. He's running out of real estate.
You got to run that ball. Give me 2 yards even.
Well, he had 4 straight completions until this one.
Look, just give me a couple, 3-4 yards. Every yard of this game, he had an easy 2-3 yards there, I thought.
He might have gotten to the 1st down stick.
Yeah, but I can say you don't want your quarterback taking a lot of hits.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me 2. It'll be 2nd and 2 or 3 yards to go for a 1st down.
He had Raekwon Davis tracking him down a little bit, so it's 2nd down and 5.
I'm not saying I wouldn't have thrown it away. I'm saying what he should have done.
Mond in trouble on the inside. This time he does run for it, and a whole bunch more. Kellen Mond, he's still going down to the 15-yard line. Well, he knew what Gary said, so he took off for 54.
Maybe he wanted more space. This was a called quarterback draw. Designed quarterback draw. Runs through 1 tackle, and no one was in the middle of the field. Alabama was playing their combo packages where they're comboing outside, playing man, and all of a sudden Kellen Mond runs through Williams' tackle, and there was nobody in the center of the field.
That's one of the better quarterback runs you're ever going to see, because he just wouldn't go down either. Broke a couple of tackles on his way to the 15-yard line. 1 yard for Treyvion Williams.
Well, we were here in 2012 when a little quarterback had some runs against this Alabama team. You bet.
Yeah, the red zone this year, there's what the numbers are for A&M.
Yeah, I've seen just about everything from A&M against Alabama. A win, a close game where they put over 600 yards, and then they got blown out, too. But it's new with Jimbo this year. Again, can they affect the inside linebackers and the safeties? Those are the new players, the safeties. You got to give them different looks.
2nd down and 9. Mond has a look at that Alabama front. Play action. Pressure from behind to the end zone. Touchdown, A&M. And it's Sternberger, his 4th touchdown catch of the year.
You affect the safeties with play action pass. You hold the linebackers. You go to the tight end. Alabama has not played against a lot of tight end offense. A little bit from Louisville, but not to this level. Watch this beautiful play right here. Play action, hold these guys, send some guy to clear it outside, 1 tight end, and now you got another tight end going there right down the middle. Beautiful football. Was that 99-yard drive?
It was. Extra point by Seth Small is up and good.
That's how I'd be calling it. I'd be calling those play actions. I'd be attacking those 2 safeties and 2 inside linebackers, and then see how Alabama adjusts.
An 8-play drive, and as Gary said, 99 yards and a wide open tight end for the touchdown. Aggies were tied in Tuscaloosa at 7. The kick into the end zone, and Alabama will bring it out to the 25. A tie game at 7. On second down, play action down the middle, complete. Josh Jacobs all the way to Aggie territory.
Doesn't seem fair that Alabama can run the RPO offense. Watch how long Tua stays with the play action while he's reading downfield. There's no one. That's just like, you know, a high school throw. When you're that wide open and you can just pitch it like that, that is as easy as it can get. A beautiful RPO there for Bama.
Empty backfield for Tua Tagavailoa. Fakes one way, throws a screen to the wide receiver back the other, and Devontae Smith's got his 3rd catch.
This was a wide receiver screen. You see on almost every throw, Tua looks off, fakes, gives a motion. He sets up almost every throw with either eye movement against the defense or a motion with his arm in the opposite direction.
He picks up the receiver, and after making that spin move so quickly, we saw him against Vanderbilt last year do the same thing.
Unteachable skill. I've only seen one other guy in my college days do that.
He's going to keep it on this one, and he's heading to the first down, and he's got it around the 10-yard line. Who's the other guy that has that vision?
A fellow by the name of at Purdue, Drew Brees. I kind of lost track of him though.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing these days.
Right, exactly. I lost track of it, but he had that special skill of knowing in space where he was, every one of his receivers, and it's unteachable.
I think sometime in the first quarter tomorrow, Drew is going to break the all-time completion mark in NFL history, by the way. Damien Harris running over Aggies. He might make it to the end zone. He's got a first down at the 2-foot line. That is strong running by the senior out of Richmond, Kentucky.
Well, Derek Tucker, number 4, had a shot at making the tackle, but Damien very subtly made him miss on the play.
Under a minute to go. First quarter in a tie game. Damien Harris got him down here to the 2-foot line. They fake it to him. Tagavailoa is going to cruise into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. Nobody over there. And Tua's got his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year.
Well, how much has things changed here at Alabama? That would be a play in the past where Alabama would try to show how tough they were. This time, Lester Cotton comes around the side, and it's a walk-in.
Nobody within 6 yards of number 13, who will hold for his kicker, Joseph Bullivus.
And everybody on tape from now on will know they got that play.
Another look at a 1-yard walk-in to Tagavailoa, capping a 75-yard drive in 9 plays. And on the sideline, Jalen Hurts says, that's a pretty good job, my friend. 14-7, Alabama. Back in Tuscaloosa, where the Tide has regained the lead by a touchdown. 14-7. Fair catch called for at the 1-yard line by Etwe, so that'll bring it out to the 25. The last time Alabama gave up a 99-yard touchdown drive was 1997 against Houston in a game that was played in Birmingham. Mond off play action, looking to throw, and now he'll try to get that 2 or 3 yards.
That's it. That's what you got to do. When you're a coach calling plays on first down, especially play action plays, you look for a big play. But you depend on your quarterback to get you, 3-4 yards and get 2nd down, so it's an opportunity to move the chains.
A half minute remaining in the quarter. 2nd down and 7 for the Aggies at their own 28-yard line. Possibly the last play of the quarter coming up. Treyvion Williams behind Mond. They'll hand it to him. Following his blockers, got the corner. Treyvion Williams, he stepped out of bounds. He's still running, but he's going to have a first down. Best run of the day by number 5.
Well, I'll tell you, Eric McCoy, the center that time, did a great job coming around the side and helping inside and then taking Mac Wilson. He put his hand on the defensive end and then he blocked Mac Wilson.
He got 2 guys.
He absolutely did.
There's where he stepped out at the 41-yard line. But a first down, and the quarter has come to a close. A good one here in Tuscaloosa. Tide leading by a score. End of quarter number 1, 14-7. We'll return to Tuscaloosa after this message and a word from your local station. And of course, Jimbo was Nick's offensive coordinator for 4 years at LSU. That's where the tree began. The Saban tree. Anthony Jennings. Whew. Hello.
Just can't run the ball. So far in this game, A&M has rushed for, what, 64 yards. 54 of them were on the quarterback draw.
Yep.
They have not been able to get the running game going.
Talk about that LSU coaching staff. Check out this staff from 2004. There's the head coaches. Derek Dooley, who used to be a head coach at Tennessee. Jimbo, Kirby Smart from Georgia, Will Muschamp, South Carolina, Nick in the middle. And he's 12-0, the guy on the right, against his disciples, if you will. Nobody's ever beaten him so far. Mond, quarterback draw again and again. He's into the secondary. Didn't get the first down, but another good run before he's brought down by Xavier McKinney.
Such a well-designed this play this time. He follows his tight end, Sternberger, that time, and gets it into the secondary. That's been the running game. The quarterback runs. We talked about, could A&M be physical enough? The only way they've been able to do it on the offensive line is with the quarterback.
Mond had a rushing touchdown in this game a year ago and one in the air. And he's been the ground game, as Gary said, for the Aggies, but he got him close enough on 3rd down to try to convert here. 3rd and 2. Play action. Mond is going to keep it again. Not going to get there. Lost a yard. Kristen Miller ran him out.
Brad, I think Kellen Mond busted on this play. He needed to stay in the pocket. He had J.C. Sternberger wide open on the play. If he stays in the pocket, he's got the tight end for a big play. Watch the crossing tight end. If he stays there after the play action pass, look what he's got.
Oh, wow.
That play was designed to go to him, and he ran before he looked.
And what could have been maybe a touchdown instead becomes a field goal attempt.
Boy, you dial one that like that as a coach, you're going to get an earful. Believe me, I've been there.
Seth Small trying a long one. 53 yards, and he got it. Big kick to put Texas A&M within 4. 8:50 remaining in the first half. Seth Small. Nothing small about this one. Yeah, man. 14-10. Jimbo Fisher on the left, 0-1 against Nick Saban on the right as a head coach, but that was at Florida State a year ago. We talked about the Saban coaching tree and all those apples that have fallen that we keep showing you in that cart there. McElwain 0 for 3, D'Antonio, Michigan State 0 for 2, Muschamp 0 for 2. Kirby 0 for 1. That was the national championship game last year. And Jimbo, as I mentioned, as a head coach at Florida State. So none of those apples have ever upset the cart. And the cart is Nick Saban.
Well,
there's a lot of other guys that lost to him.
The coaches might have moved on, but the players stayed. The 5 stars he keeps getting.
Alabama will start at the 25 as we check in with Jamie.
Well, Brad, we see it with this Texas A&M team, but Nick Saban confirmed it. He said you can see Jimbo's thumbprint already on this program with the toughness and sustainability. Now, Saban said, did I teach him that? I don't know, but Jimbo did tell us the thing that Nick taught him was how to create a sustained message throughout an entire program and really to impose a psychological disposition from top to bottom, and that is how you create what Nick Saban has created here at Alabama.
And Nick, obviously, when he talks about his former assistants, he talks in glowing terms and says how happy he is for the success that those assistants have had just to get head coaching jobs, much less to win some of those games. Najee Harris behind Tagavailoa, who Woods and fires deep middle, complete. Jerry Jeudy, and a first down out to the 45.
He loves to throw that seam route. He feels it, he can sense it. He's reading this guy right here. As soon as he breaks off the receiver, he knows he's got Jeudy down that seam, and he just lays it right in there.
And it gets there in a hurry. And they go in a hurry on first down. This time the flip is out to Irv Smith, the tight end. Irv Smith. He's a matchup nightmare for teams, and he's still standing up. Big gain. First down, Alabama.
Well, Irv Smith is the wild card on this offense for defenses to account for as he crosses the formation with one of those little under boots, kind of like a Lane Kiffin play that he featured here all those years.
They fake the pitch. He lofts it. Caught by Henches. Touchdown. That's his blocking tight end, Hale Henches, but in this case, the receiving tight end of a 23-yard touchdown.
Well, Leon O'Neal, number 9, is in for Donovan Wilson. So Mike Loxley says we're going to attack the new guy, and that's exactly what they did. In practice, they threw this pass about 15 times in individual period, and Danny knows the quarterback coach kept telling him, take some touch on it, have some touch, don't throw it hard. Watch how well he did it.
So with 6:50 remaining in the first half, number 84, his second catch of the year is all, but this is a big one.
Yeah, one more for Henches right here because he doesn't do it often. Gets a block, goes to the end, play action pass, does the pitch, runs right by the safety that time, and he's got it.
Henches has 12 career catches. 4 of them are touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Well, that's why I wanted to show it again. He doesn't get a lot of highlights, and that was so. I didn't circle it the first time, but I wanted to give him his due.
Returnable kick, but fair catch called for by Etwe, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, and our CBS crew at Tuscaloosa, where the Tide leads 21-10. Kellen Mond in trouble, is going to run out of it, and he's got a bunch of green in front of it. Looks behind him and gets out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Another big run by number 11.
One of the reasons that the quarterback can gain yards against Alabama, it's always been the case, is they play a ton of man coverage in the back end. So if you get past that first wave, you've got plenty of open grass. That one wasn't designed.
Got it to the 41-yard line, though, 34 yards on the pickup. 92 on the ground for Mond. He'd like to get some in the air. He's got some here. Treyvion Williams. Treyvion to the 35.
I thought last drive it was important that A&M got points on the board. They did with a long field goal. But the way Tua brought Alabama down the field to make it 21-10 like that, I think now, considering the time of this half right here, and Alabama gets it back to start the second half, it's a critical scoring drive for A&M.
Even if it's only a field goal, it'd be a one-possession game.
Because Alabama's going to get the ball again and then start the half again.
Second down and 4. Treyvion Williams. Wow. That's like running into a wall right there. Dylan Moses and Raekwon Davis on the stop.
When it's stopped like that, let's take a peek at the nose tackle. Quinnen Williams right there. They play 2-gap. He gets 2 guys blocking him, and he stuffs it, and then cleans it up for the linebacker to make the tackle.
You don't always have to make the tackle. Just let your guys behind you do the dirty work. You do the dirty work, they get the cleanup.
You got it. That is valuable dirty work, too. The NFL notices that real fast.
That's for sure. And a lot of the guys that have worn that helmet in the trenches are playing on Sundays. Third down and 3. The pitch. Williams with Jennings trying to track him down, but he got away. And he's still going inside the 20. Big run.
I thought he was going to drop the pitch, and I thought that might slow him down enough for Jennings to make the play. Watch him bobble it, but then he gets around the edge, and he makes the play. Good call, again, by Jimbo Fisher. Remember, he had the play-action pass for the possible touchdown, And now on third down, he brings out another play to pick up the first down.
That's the best run today for Treyvion Williams. 16-yard pickup down to the 18. Back in the red zone for A&M. That was their 8th first down of the half.
Same formation for the touchdown to Steinberger before. Isolating the linebackers. They're in that same look with a tight end and an H-back right there.
Play fake. They're going for Kendrick Rogers. Incomplete. Broken up by Patrick Surtain, the freshman defensive back.
Well, you know they got to like that matchup. Rogers is a big, tall guy, 6'4", 215, 220. He's on the true freshman, a talented true freshman, but he does a nice job staying there and not interfering on the play.
Patrick Surtain, whose daddy played a long time in the NFL, and this kid's got the same kind of skills. Just a youngster, but one of those long guys at corner, 6'2", about 204. Second down and 10 for Mond. Extra wide receiver, and now Treyvion Williams flushes out of the Aggie backfield. Quarterback draw again. This time it only got a couple. It's third down.
Spread them out, although they still keep a fullback in the game, but that time well defended by the Bama defense.
The Aggies need to get to the 8-yard line for a first down, and that is 8 yards away right now on third down. As you look behind Kellen Mond, and now right into his eyes. 4 wideouts and the tight end, and an empty backfield for Mond.
They're going to come. They're blitzing.
Here they come. Quick throw is batted up in the air and almost intercepted. Mack Wilson, I think, got a hand on it.
Alabama lines up as if they're playing their combo coverage, but that time they were coming after the quarterback. Xavier McKinney on the left side is coming on the play, and I think it is, as he throws the ball, was it Mack Wilson that got his hand on it? It was Mack Wilson. I had my eyes on McKinney. I could tell he was going to blitz the whole way. Instead of going combo, they brought him off the edge.
Seth Small was good from 52. This should be a chipper. A 33-yard field goal attempt to try to make it a one-possession game, and it's up and it's perfect. And with 3:24 remaining in the first half, the lead of Alabama's is cut to 8.
I remember for A&M fans, they remember, and Jimbo will remind his team, they trailed Clemson 21-6 and came back.
Alabama will start from the 25-yard line. Anyway, they start deeper, 1st and 15, and Damien will get the call. And he's trying to get that 5 back. He got 4 of it.
Got a kick out of, we visited with Deontay Thompson, the safety for Alabama, who came into that championship game when Hootie Jones got hurt a year ago. We said, how was it going against Tua in practice? He said, he scored every time in 2 minutes against us. 2s versus 2s, he took it every time.
And here he is throwing to his own teammate, Devontae Smith, who caught that winning touchdown last year and one here today. Also talking with Damien and Thompson, we said, how nervous were you going into that game?
Yeah.
He said, I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning and I started throwing up. And Damien said, dude, that's a whole different kind of nervous.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Jimbo Fisher is nervous about this play right here. This is a huge play for this A&M defense. The penalty helped get the field position and yardage in their favor. Can they get a stop here? When Mike Elko bring people.
Smith in motion to the slot.
They do.
3rd and 7. Wide open is Damien Harris. And he's still going down the sideline. Damien Harris all the way down to the 20.
Well, Larry Pryor does not make the tackle. You just a swing around. He's got the chance to make the tackle. He misses it, but it was a bust before then. You just put the running back out and nobody covers him that easy. Busted play on one of the biggest plays of the day for this A&M defense.
52 yards on the pickup, and now, wow. Tagavailoa tucks that one in to Jerry Jeudy, and he broke 3 tackles to get another first down.
There's such value of being accurate with the throw. This throw had to be perfect, and it was.
First and goal, Alabama coming right back. Josh Jacobs to the 6. Landis Durham made the stop.
We'll give this A&M front four credit. They have not gotten pushed off the ball. They have stopped Alabama's running game. You turn on the tape against everybody else and they're mashing them for yards. That has not happened in this game.
Second down and goal. Tagavailoa in the shotgun. Josh Jacobs to his left. Tua wants to throw. Got his man. Hedges again. Touchdown. Now it's 13 career catches and 5 touchdowns for number 84.
Tua Tagavailoa felt the pressure. He rolls out and Henches comes into his vision. Again though, he's on the run and watch how quickly he visualizes it and makes that throw.
I like the touchdown ratio for number 84.
Going down.
Bullivus extra point. Up and good.
And it was Larry Pryor again that was beat on the play. He didn't make the tackle, and that time he let that tight end pass it by.
Hale Henches with his second touchdown grab of the day from Tua Tagavailoa on the right, and it's 28-13. Capped a 75-yard drive in just 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Took 6 plays. The biggest chunk we'll show you again in a moment here was a 52-yard pass from Tua to Damien Harris, who rumbled down the sideline.
And Deontay Thompson, the safety for Alabama, looked across and goes, guys, I've been there before. He did it to us every day in practice. A&M had a bust to start on 3rd and 6. That's what started the drive.
Mond, pressure from behind by Miller, throws deep and intercepted. Coming back the other way, Patrick Surtain, and the freshman with a big play on the defense for Alabama.
You want to see a 5-star? Let me show you a 5-star. How calm he is playing man-to-man coverage. Patrick Surtain never panics.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 73. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Then he sticks out his hands and makes a catch just like any of the good receivers for Alabama. What an athlete.
And then the late hit. They've got a great opportunity to score. There he stepped out of bounds, and there's a hit by one of the linemen. And when they tack this on, Gary, they're almost in field goal range. They're close.
Got 2 timeouts. They got a quarterback that can throw the ball literally anywhere on the field at any snap.
Right now, he is standing on the 50-yard line, getting ready to take the snap. 19 seconds remain. Alabama following the interception. Tagavailoa going to throw short across the middle, but it's Henry Ruggs who's on the run. And down inside the 30.
Timeout. Take a timeout. Get one more throw if you want it.
Tua going to come back the other way to the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Devontae Smith. He looked to the right, then came back to the left. Oliver had pretty good coverage.
He was going there the whole way. He was just trying to look off that safety. It was the same look as his first touchdown pass, and now I think Alabama will go field goal here. Good coverage that time by A&M. Charles Oliver, number 21, did a good job of pushing Smith wide enough on that play.
Bullivus, longest this year, is 44 yards. He hit a couple last week, but he missed a 38-yarder. This will be a 47-yard attempt out of a Tagavailoa hold. The kick on the way to end the half is perfect. Bullivus from 47.
And I got a feeling the Alabama fans, so sophisticated, was just as happy with that field goal kick as anything else in the first half.
Well, the interception return and the long field goal makes it 31-13 at halftime as we head to Adam Zucker and the guys in our New York studio. We get set to start the third quarter. Alabama 31-13. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, and Jeremy Earlwell's on the sideline. And Gary, the good news is if you're Texas A&M, you've stopped the Alabama ground game. The bad news is you haven't stopped Tua Tagavailoa.
They're a different team. You know, I thought A&M was there. They had that 3rd and 6. They bust the running back coming out of the backfield. Right. And then that set up another touchdown. Then they throw an interception, tackle a player out of bounds, and leads to 10 points. They were in the game, and now it's going to be a tough climb back.
They got to have a stop to start the third quarter, that's for sure, because Alabama's going to get the football to open up the third stanza. Braden Mann with the kickoff. And Josh Jacobs lets it go as we check in with Jamie.
Well, Kevin Mond had some major yardage up the middle with some of those quarterback draws, and Jimbo Fisher just told me that those weren't draws some of those times. That's just Mond trying to figure out a way to get some yardage for this offense. Nick Saban not happy with some of those big-time plays for A&M, but in terms of what Fisher told me about Kevin Mond breaking on some of those plays, he said, I think he's seeing everything in creating offense to put points on the board. Now, defensively, he knows you got to get stops, big stops against Alabama, and some of those big-time plays, they just got to get a fingertip on the ball, and it'll change the way this one goes.
And it starts right here, Jimmy. Tagavailoa play action. The quick throw is batted down. Matabuike, I think, got a hand on it on the defensive front.
That really is the defense for the RPOs. Those defensive linemen, as they read it, as they play their 2-gap up front, if they see the ball pulled out of the stomach, they've got to immediately try to knock that ball down because they're usually short throws.
This time play fake, roll the other way, and fire complete. Judy, first down.
Well, Deshaun Caper-Smith, number 26, thought he was in perfect position to defend this throw. He's right to the right side of the screen, but that sense of space, that spatial awareness, he knows how much room's behind him. He throws that ball on instincts. That's the word that coach was using the most with him. Yeah. His instincts.
Let's see how his instincts pay off here. Gonna go deep. And in and out of the hands of Judy that time. Catchable, but a pretty good coverage back there as well.
I was telling you, Ness, that I don't remember anybody, we talked about in the first half, anywhere close to him but Drew Brees. Drew had it as well. He just understood depth and open field and where receivers were going. He didn't have the strongest arm in the world, but he was almost impossible to defend because he could see things open up that nobody else could. That's who Tua reminds me of.
Tua wide open this time is Irv Smith. Smith inside the 20. First down, Alabama. And Tua just keeps adding to his yardage total.
Yeah, they use a bunch formation. They're hiding that tight end right there. He goes out, runs a corner. Look at it. He sees that defender right there in the flat, knows he's got plenty of open space behind, and the ball is let go before Irv even turns around to look for it.
42-yard pickup. And now the play fake and out in the flat to Smith again with a stiff arm. Shed one. Got it down, first and goal.
Gee, he reminds me athletically of O.J. Howard, doesn't he? The way he moves.
I said earlier he's a mismatch problem.
And he lines up, I mentioned he's lined up 11 different spots in this offense. They have no idea where he is.
Josh Jacobs dragging would-be tacklers down to the 3. Second and goal.
How good do you have to be for Nick Saban to change his offense to take advantage of you?
As good as Tua is, I guess.
Exactly.
Jacobs gonna walk in, touchdown, Alabama. Second time today that on a run, an Alabama player was able to just cruise to the corner. Tua first, and now Jacobs here.
Watch Hedges right there at the end of the line of scrimmage. He and Jonah Williams get the key block, and that's the corner.
From the Chick-fil-A pylon cam, Josh Jacobs coming right into your face to cap an 80-yard drive in 7 plays.
And it probably is Jalen Hurts time next time we get out here.
Extra point is good. With 10:03 remaining in the third quarter. The #1 team in the country. Why are they #1? Because they can do a little bit of everything. Jacobs, 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. 38-13 tied. Oh, Bullivus will kick. And a fair catch again called for by Etwe. So the Aggies will bring it out to the 25-yard line. Throws a quick slant, 1st down throw. And Courtney Davis on the receiving end, brought down by Shaheem Carter.
So looking at the stats at halftime, and we know the success that A&M had on the quarterback draw and Kellen Mond running. And I think Alabama will live with that. There just wasn't enough passing yards to really stress this defense. They threw for 55 yards in the first half. They ain't going to get it done against this defense.
Nope. 1st down from the 36. Mond again got some heat, throws back across his body, and he got it to his tight end. And still running down to the 40 is Jay Sternberger. Well, that's something A&M didn't have last year, the Jimbo effect. They got a bigger offensive line. They didn't even have any tight ends, basically, and now they've got the guy that just caught that ball, 1 of 3 or 4 on the roster. And they didn't take a lot of snaps under center a year ago, and that's a little different this year. Jayshon Corbin in the backfield, a freshman with Kellen Mond in Alabama territory at the 40-yard line. Davis in motion. The throws out to Corbin. And he's got a nice gain out of that. They're pretty high on Corbin. He had 64 yards and a touchdown against Louisiana Monroe last week.
And Corbin was one of the players that Jimbo brought from Florida State to Texas A&M. He was a recruit that Jimbo was going to sign at Florida State, and he brought him with him.
That's his 19th catch already in the first month of the season. 2nd and 4. Alabama, they're going to bring an extra guy. They do. It's Corbin going the other way, and Kristen Miller is going to wrap him up along with Dylan Moses, the 2 linebackers on the stop. We talked about Raekwon Davis a couple of plays ago, the big guy. This shows you how many people have come and gone from the defense of Alabama. He came in as their career tackle leader with 82 tackles. I mean, that's just a season for their linebackers.
Exactly.
Normally. Wow, the pocket somehow held up, and he delivers a strike to Buckley. 1st down.
Keaton Sutherland, number 78, the right guard, made the saving play. Watch him come out at the last second and pop the blitzer from the outside, Diggs. That allowed Mond to step into that throw and make it. Great job. Remember we talked about the blitz off the slot before? That's how you have to clean it up. When they blitz, they're vulnerable. You just got to make them pay for it by blocking them.
Down to the 14. 5 passes and only 1 run so far. Here comes pass number 6. Down the middle, incomplete. Intended for Buckley again.
A&M ran a nice little pick play here in the slot, but didn't get it. Watch these 2 guys cross and pick. If they'd have thrown it right away, they had it. Right now, see? Got it inside. They had the pass to Buckley. That could have been a big play.
There's number 81. That's just the ricochet off the incompletion. 2nd down. 1st down markers at the 4-yard line.
They've been very aggressive blitzing, Alabama has. Will they do it again?
Yep, off the corner. Mond steps in again to the end zone. Just overshot Sternberger. He had about a half step, and there's a big collision with he and Dylan Moses in the end zone, and Moses has not risen yet.
You didn't say that, did you?
I did. Sorry. Got another guy down too on the sideline. Look out. Oh, man.
Oh, right into the wall.
And there's a guy down there too that's not feeling so good.
Would have taken a perfect throw. Dylan Moses was in good
Illegal man
phase.
downfield.
You know, it's a rough game when one of your security guys might have an ACL down there.
Yeah,
Dylan Moses finally got up out of the back corner of the end zone, and this gentleman that works for the stadium getting helped off. Took a shot to the left knee. We hope he's okay.
Dylan Moses, 6'1", 235, and he hit him full speed.
Yeah, he's going about 23 miles an hour when he hit him.
Exactly.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Kevin Mond, and again they have to get to the 4-yard line for a first down.
Both tight ends are to the left side of the screen. This is that formation that they scored it with the confusion from Alabama before.
Only 2 out of 7, as you saw, on third down conversions today.
They're coming again.
Mond sets his feet, throws, and Rogers has it, but he's short of the first down. Or does he have it? There's a battle going on with Treyvion Smith, who says he has an interception. The head linesman says no.
It was Kendrick Rogers, number 13. Treyvion Smith jumps it. Rogers looks like he catches it. And then Treyvion goes for the steal. He was down. By the time he pulled it away from him, he was down.
There you see him pull it in.
Yep,
and
he's got it.
His rear end's going to hit the deck before the ball gets stripped from it. And it's 4th down. And they're going to kick the field goal. Seth Small's hit a couple today already. This one is going to be about 25 yards away.
I got to say, I'm surprised. I thought they would go for it here.
Small from 25. The kick is up and again is good. That's his 3rd of the day. So they needed 7. They only got 3. Still in the game though at 38-16. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl here at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, where the Aggies got a field goal out of that last drive that took them 67 yards in 10 plays. And Alabama will work from the 25-yard line again. Damien Harris. Nice stiff arm. Harris cuts it outside. Best run of the day. And the senior goes all the way out to the 43-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you, Alex Leatherwood and Jared Williams, number 70 and 74, get great blocks that time, the right side of that line. And Williams is, I'll tell you what, he's a big man, but he is way faster than anybody knows. He started off his career at Alabama returning kickoffs.
Gets a breather after a 35-yard gain, and here's a jet sweep for Henry Ruggs. Ruggs with blockers in front, and Ruggs down the sideline, stays in bounds. Blockers, goodbye. Mr. Ruggs, touchdown.
Well, that takes care of the rushing game. I think he stepped out, though, at the 8.
If he did, he didn't need to.
No, Josh Jacobs gets the key block here, number 8. Watch that. Key block on the corner.
Got
then
two.
he gets another one, and the cleater. Almost a step out there. Let's see if he does. Oh, I don't see how he stepped. That's a touchdown. My fault there. You made the right call.
That's where you were thinking, but
yep,
no,
he
the
didn't.
tiptoe.
He kept it in.
Perfect.
Great play.
Bullivus, point after is good. The #1 team in the country showing why. With 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, Henry Ruggs caps a 92-yard drive for the touchdown.
Tell you, when you got a quarterback as good as Tua is throwing the ball, and really you've got 3 NFL receivers to throw the ball to.
And the one on his left, Henry Ruggs, just capped off. It wasn't a drive. I said going to the break, a 92-yard drive. It was a 2-play, 92-yard blast, basically.
All on the ground. Yikes. Ugly kick.
That wasn't very good. It's 387 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He doesn't
for that
need
guy.
to do that. He can just throw it.
There's Tua's numbers right on cue. Career highs all the way across the board, or all the way down the board. blitz on first down. Throw. Whoa. Wow. What a hit. Speaking of running, we run out of time in the third quarter. 45-16. We'll return to Tuscaloosa after this message and a word from your local station. Jimbo Fisher coming into Tuscaloosa against his former boss, Nick Saban. It's not going so well as it hasn't 12 other times for disciples of Coach Saban. He's 12-0 against his former assistant turned head coaches. Second and 14. Here comes a blitz, a delayed blitz. A throw is true to Davis. And Courtney Davis with a first down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what early in this game Jimbo was hoping he could get. Courtney Davis matched up with the slot this time. Shaheem Carter, back shoulder throw, and you get the big chunk of yards.
Got it to the 47-yard line, a very close, a 26-yard pickup. So we're under 11 minutes. Mond looking in the direction of Rogers, throws it to him. Kendrick Rogers, another first down, I think, with a forward progress. Boy, he didn't want to go down, and then he took about 4 extra hits.
Well,
Not
new
sure it was
defensive
worth it.
coordinator Tosh LaPoy, when they start making a couple first downs, and the long history of coordinators here, whether it's Kirby Smart or Jeremy Pruitt, as you see Tosh, this year's defensive coordinator, he'll start to blitz. You know he's going to say, I'm tired of those yards. He'll start to bring people now.
First and 10 as we approach 10 to play.
Here comes Moses off the edge.
Just about got to Mond, but he got it away. Almost intercepted by Diggs. Treyvion Diggs playing out there against Courtney Davis, the intended receiver.
Like clockwork, make a couple first downs. He brings the pressure, and Diggs get a great job of walling off the defender, and only he could catch it. You bring 5, good protection, ball out, and watch Diggs wall off the defender, and he had a shot for it.
Diggs, another one of those big corners, 6'2", 200.
Started his career as a wide receiver here and then moved over.
Brother of Stephon Diggs, a great receiver of the Minnesota Vikings. Mond, look out. Matt Wilson's got him. He throws it as he hits the deck.
Yep. No surprise here. You make 2 first outs against Alabama. They're coming after you. Wilson right around the edge right here. Watch Wilson. Stunt and come around.
And Max says, you know, I got your first pass, and now I got you down.
Yep. He did get rid of it, though.
He did.
Yep.
Max says, I just like to hit people. I love contact. I wish I was still on the kickoff team. I mean, really. Third and 10. Again, Mond is flushed out of the pocket, and that's going to be a horse collar, I think.
Roll it or not.
On Anoma.
There's the flag. You got it.
Number 9, personal foul, horse collar tackle. Number 9 on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Anoma, number 9, the true freshman. He gets his hands inside the jersey, and that's... They had to just put that in the teaching reel of what a horse collar is.
Well, he gets the penalty. I'm talking about, you talk about a physical specimen, this kid. 6'5", 245. We're watching him in practice the other day. I said, wow, I like number 9. Well, Nick's not going to like what number 9 did, but nonetheless, he got a great rush on the quarterback.
Yeah, he laid out. I think he did a great job there. That's what happens sometimes. He got a tap on the helmet from the coach.
Yep. Next time, grab the jersey just a little lower. First down at the 28 for the Aggies. Mond going to lose a yard. Moses drops him. You can tell who's winning by looking at the crowd. 2nd and 11. Comes a corner blitz again. Mond gets rid of it, and he's got his tight end again, Sternberger. He had a touchdown catch earlier, and he's got it down to the 10-yard line, maybe the 9.
Nice route against Dylan Moss, number 32. Sets him outside and gets inside the linebacker. That was the matchup you want. When you come off the slot, that means the inside linebacker has to cover the slot, and you have a good pitch and catch.
A 20-yard pitch and catch down to the 9 at the 8-minute mark. Both tight ends in there right now. Alabama's trying to get one of their guys off the field and somebody new on. And they just did. Mond play fake to the end zone. And intended for Jamon Osmond, is the closest guy anyway.
Kristen Miller, number 47, has been putting pressure on almost every play. Gets him just as he lets the ball go that time. Kristen Miller, the SEC defensive player, had 2.5 sacks last week against Ole Miss.
Yep. He missed almost all of last season. He got hurt in the opener against Florida State. 2nd and goal from the 9. Mond, quarterback draw. Trying to get to the edge, did. Trying to get to the pylon, and did. Touchdown, A&M.
I'll tell you, when you beat Dylan Moses that time, number 32, that's a great athlete. And Mond just made Dylan Moses grab air. Called quarterback draw. Watch number 32 right in the middle. He's not clear before snap, but he's got a bead and doesn't even come close to making the tackle.
So Kellen Mond, his 4th rushing touchdown of the year, capping an 88-yard march in 11 plays. Seth Small in for the point after. It's up, and it is good. So Texas A&M inches a little bit closer. Kellen Mond makes it 45-23 Alabama. You win as many national titles as Nick Saban has, you get yourself a statue outside Bryant Denny Stadium.
I think you should have a statue of you at the Moose at the lake house.
I have a statue of a moose, but I don't have a statue of me.
How about you standing next to the Moose?
That'd be good.
You deserve it. I mean,
talking about the house at the lake for all those people that are on the inside.
The lake house. That's you.
Yeah. Kid goes out of the corner of the end zone, out to the 25. Tua's time today was pretty effective, that's for sure. 22 out of 30, 387 yards.
Now, the interesting part is Tua said before the national championship game that had he not played in that game, he was thinking of transferring. Imagine that.
And if you're wondering what the future of Alabama is as far as quarterbacks, Tua's little brother threw for 350 yards and 2 touchdowns last night for Thompson High School in their win over Tuscaloosa County, as Najee Harris goes out for a big gain and into Aggie territory. I was just mentioning the final numbers on Tua Tagavailoa on the day. There they are, and those are all career highs.
You know, the only one thinking back that came close to this type of situation was when J.T. Barrett took Ohio State to the playoffs, and then Cardell Jones
That's right,
ran it
because
out.
J.T. got hurt.
And then remember, they went with Cardell, and it didn't work at the beginning of the next season.
And he might have been good to stick around a little bit longer, and he might be doing a little better at the next level as well. There's a handoff to Harris. Going to lose yardage on this one. Tua Tagavailoa last night. He's a right-hander. Thompson High School won 35-0 over Tuscaloosa County last night, right down the road here from Bryant Denny Stadium. Tua was there and saw his baby brother have 4 total touchdowns. There's mom and dad, who moved from Hawaii to live here in Alabama, so they'll be watching their kids play football here for, well, quite a few years, depending on how long they stick around.
That's literally blood is thicker than water.
Yes, sure is. The ocean of Hawaii. to the waters of Tuscaloosa.
That is literally blood thicker than water. I think Nick Saban looked at his offense and said, let's see if you can put this game away. Can you make some first downs here? They've driven the ball 5 times. They ran every time. Now it's 3rd and 5. What will they do? Quarterback draw?
Well, Najee's going to come back and join Jalen Hurts in the backfield. They fake it to him.
Somewhat.
A fumble. And Najee gets on top of it.
It was a similar play to a quarterback draw, quarterback sweep, but A&M smelled it out. Nice grab that time by Najee Harris.
Yeah.
Knocked out of his hand. I'll tell you.
Adabuke was the guy that popped it out of there from Hurts.
He has been all over the field, knocking down passes, blowing up runs. He's had a really good game up there.
DeLong to punt.
Let's see if he's going to go conventional or that little trot to his right.
The trot hasn't been very good.
Those have been the short ones.
No trot involved. Straight down the middle. Fair catch called for around the 12-yard line. New quarterback in for Texas A&M. Guy that was trying to win the starting job at the beginning of the season. Nick Starkel will get the duty here with 3 minutes to go.
A&M's schedule maps out that they've got a chance to turn this into a good season for themselves.
Keep it on the ground. Talked about A&M's schedule, but Alabama's is what we're going to look at right here.
Yeah, I think the question all the way through this open date, I think it's pretty good chance that Alabama could go 8-0 without their starting quarterback throwing a pass in the 4th quarter.
Wow.
In fact, I think they might be disappointed if they did.
Everybody in the country is going, is that something we can like bet on or something? Or whatever?
I think you can. I think you can bet on anything nowadays.
Cameron Buckley with the catch out to the 19.
And, of course, the finish, though, nothing gets judged by Alabama except for getting into the playoffs and winning. The finish, with at LSU, Auburn at home, and then, the East, it looks like Georgia right now. Mississippi State also coming here. That November is their season.
Starkel throwing out in the flat, complete. And it's a first down to Jayshon Corbin, the freshman. Dylan Moses made the tackle. So A&M's going to fall to 2-2, and they'll probably be one of the better 2-2 teams in the country, I would imagine. But
2 pretty good teams they lost to, that's for sure.
I'd say so.
2 out of the top 5 teams in the country they lost to.
The number one and number 2 when they played it was Clemson.
Oh, what a throw.
And he dropped it. Incomplete, intended for the tight end, Glenn Beal.
In the bowl game, Nick Starkel threw for almost 500 yards, 42 for 63 for 499 yards. And it was a battle for that spot. This was not, a foregone conclusion that Mond was going to beat out Starkel.
Starkel broke a bone in his hand that actually gave Mond the opportunity to play as much as he did last year, and got some valuable experience in some big-time games. Starkel again complete to Corbin, and Corbin might have another first down. Xavier McKinney made the stop. Here's the Aggie schedule that Gary was talking about.
Well, look, these are winnable games. Arkansas, Kentucky, at South Carolina. Those are the 3 you have to win, because after that, it's load up, okay? Mississippi State, at Auburn, and then, of course, they finish with LSU.
Final minute, Starkel. Incomplete, intended for his tight end again. And covering was Deontay Thompson. So the final numbers for Kellen Mond are going to look great for his rushing stats, although he lost some yardage on one of those scrambles. So he had over 100 and then ended up with 98. And 196 through the air.
Yeah, I think with this type of offense that Alabama's featuring this year, it would take a Johnny Manziel, Deshaun Watson type of performance to get this into a close game.
Starko wants to throw a screen, got it complete to Edwin. Edwin got a first down out of it. Mack Wilson and Trayvon Diggs finally tracking down over there with 45 seconds to play. So Nick Saban's former assistant coaches, who are now head coaches, will drop to 0-13 against Nick. And Nick will go to 6-1 against Texas A&M. The only loss was a Kevin Sumlin coach team that Gary talked about with Johnny Manziel a few years ago. Starko throws again, complete underneath to Rogers. Rogers stood up by Moses and then buried under a sea of crimson. And there's the number I just talked about.
We talked to both Nick and Jimbo about, has Nick or coach, have you ever had a team like this? And both Jimbo and Nick said yes. Our 2003 LSU team, when Jimbo was the offensive coordinator, was very similar to this Alabama team in talent.
There's some great receivers on that team.
Yeah, Michael Clayton, Derby Henderson, Skylar Green, Dwayne Bowe. 2 of them first-round picks, a second and a fourth. A similar style to this Alabama team.
And now we're down to a couple of snaps for Texas A&M. Starko back to throw. Incomplete. Intended for Cameron Buckley.
Well, you mentioned Clemson, Alabama 1-2 when they played them. Georgia today won by 14 at Missouri, and Tennessee tonight. How about that? Host Florida.
And Tennessee and Georgia's where we'll be next week, between the Hedges and Athens. Hope you join us for that one. Could be the final play. Here comes a blitz. Starko throws, completes to Buckley, and the clock will stop with 1 second.
Yep.
And the fans are going to react to that.
Hey, I have no problem with this. If you're going to practice, you might as well practice against the best. You got your backup quarterback in there. Why not take advantage of every play?
And that's what Jimbo did with a timeout with 1 second remaining.
Yeah, he's getting his team ready to play the rest of the season.
They're just going to bring 4. Starko goes down, and it is over. Fumble recovered by Alabama, and they win it 45-23.
Number 95, Johnny Dwight. The last sack, and then he gets to celebrate with his teammates.
And the 2 old friends with the handshake at the end. Another winning performance by Nick Saban and a winning performance by number 13. The Tide rolls to 4-0, 2-0 in the SEC. It's going to wrap it up for us. For Gary Danielson and Jamie Erdahl, Brad Nessler saying so long from Tuscaloosa. Final score: top-ranked Tide 45, Texas A&M 23. College football postgame show is up next after these messages. So long from Bryant Denny Stadium.